Welcome to 302 Sports Weekly, another week of high school sports, which means another episode of 302 Sports Weekly. I am your host, Benny Pennell, alongside Pat Garianis. Pat, how are you doing today?
Doing fantastic, Benny. Of course, been out and about. We had a great 302 Sports Spotlight Game of the Week this weekend. We'll get into that later. And last night we had how awesome was that? You guys were both with me. It was awesome. We were at the Union Stadium doing a soccer game.
Stadium, yeah.
That was a great time. So I can't wait. This is just going to make the week even better.
Yeah, Talent Energy Stadium was a lot of fun. You, of course, can rewatch that game on our YouTube page, 302 Sports on YouTube. Now it's time to get down and dirty into 302 Sports Weekly. I want to thank Gary and Nick, as always, from Hooters for allowing us to have this show here, located at the 136 Astro Shopping Center in Newark, Delaware. Come on out and have fun. A lot of people here. The crowd's always nice and full and energetic and ready for an episode of 302 Sports Weekly. Plus, I mean, the wings here are absolutely fantastic, Pat.
Hey, that they are. I mean, we're live every Wednesday, 7 p.m. start. If you have any highlights, scores, stats, or any other information you would like to see on the show, just contact us, 302sports@gmail.com. Go to the website, 302sports.com. Follow us on Facebook, and follow at 302sports on Instagram and Twitter. Of course, we have our weekly poll every week on Twitter, so get on there and vote. We always love seeing the everybody on there. So, and of course, Snapchat now as well, sports_302. Just come here to Hooters as well, Newark, located at 136 Astro Shopping Center. Just take the show in. We got everything set up now. Everybody can hear the show. So it's a good time. Come on down if you get the chance.
And now it's time to introduce our guest. It's Jason Winchell, as always, the brains behind the 302 operation. Jason, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Benny. Glad to be here.
Jason, let's get down and talk about field hockey. Division 2, as you see the rankings appear on your screen. A lot of change, especially at the bottom. It seems like every couple of weeks we have like almost a factory reset on the rankings for field hockey, especially in D2. Two unranked teams popping into the rankings this week. Can you kind of tell us about Lake Forest and Red Lion?
Yeah, Lake Forest is having a great year. They just beat number 10 Brandywine 9-0 the other day. So they're really good. They're playing that tough, unopened South Conference. They beat Milford earlier in the year, so Milford started struggling a little bit. So Lake is having a great year, and they're coming on strong. They're 6-2.
Looking at some of the scores, Archmere Caravel played to a 0-0 tie. Delmar dominating Indian River 8-0. Tower Hill beating an out-of-state opponent, Episcopal Academy, the win over St. George's Tech. Which one of those games impressed you the most this week, Jason?
I'd say the Tower Hill. The last few years,
Okay.
And this year they get by them, so that's really good. A team like that will give them confidence.
Rankings, Delmar, Tower Hill, and Caravel. Caravel of the three so far.
I mean, they're just blowing out. And Peyton Kemp. They also have a lot of supporting cast. And it's like every week, they just beat a ranked team in Indian River 8-0. I mean, so they're just blowing teams out. They can score, they can defend, and they have a good goalie. So they're going to be a real tough team to beat.
Yeah, and you look this week, a lot of good matchups going on. Number 3, Caravel at visiting Red Lion tomorrow. That's a 4 o'clock. D1, D2 matchup, always good ones. And this one's another one. Padua, their number 2 team in D1, taking on number 4 in D2, Ursuline tomorrow, 3:45. Then, of course, early next week, number 5, Archmere visiting Red Lion on Monday, and number 8, Friends taking on number 2, Tower Hill. Which one of those games really jumps out at you, Jace?
I'd say Friends. I'd say Padua, Ursuline.
Okay,
they always play one-goal games. It doesn't matter where they are in the rankings. They always play a one-goal game, and they always play twice a year because they're in the Catholic Conference. So it's always good. I would say go out to Servium Field tomorrow and take in that game because that's going to be a real good one. They also meet later in the year in the Turkey Bowl at the University of Delaware last weekend. So that's always a good one. So I would say that would be the matchup I'm most looking forward to.
Of course, Ben, Servium Field right there on 141 next to the old Barley Mill DuPont setup. Met Jeff Gordon there.
Pat with some history.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Division 1 field hockey. Not a lot of changes, more of a shuffling of the cards, so to speak. The team going from 3 to 6, that being Sussex 10. Talk about some of the other shakeups, Jason. What led to the adjustments in the rankings?
Yeah, well, Polytech beat Dover, so they jumped ahead of Dover and moved up to that 3 spot because they beat them head-to-head, so that throws that in there. Sussex Tech, it seems like every week whoever's number 3 falls.
It's bad luck, right?
And I think it's because it's always a Henlopen and North team, and then they play each other and the rankings shake up. So that could be, you probably don't want to be the ranked number 3 right now because that seems to be the kiss of death. But that's a shake up there. And Dover, because they lost to Polytech, but they beat everyone else this week, so they didn't drop. They just stayed right there at 4.
Henlopen, of course, with that 2-0 victory over Sussex Tech. What the team's got to do to compete with them right now? I mean, they do have 2 losses on their record right now, but they look really good.
And those 2 losses were early.
Yeah.
And so I think they're coming into their own. They're playing back. They're going back to Cape Henlopen field hockey. They're scoring goals. But the real difference from the beginning of the year, they were giving up a lot of goals. They gave up 6 in the loss to Delmar and 2 to the loss to Dover. Since then, they haven't given up 1 goal, and that was against Padua. They're just shutting teams out. So that's the difference, I'd say, right now in their game is that they're playing better defense.
2 other teams winning 2-0. Padua over Dover, or Padua over St. Mark's, and Polytech over Dover. Wilmington Charter being friends this week, 1-0. Key matchups for the coming up this week, not many. So kind of looking forward, what can we expect with Division I field hockey?
Yeah, it seems like all the Henlopen and North teams that are ranked have played each other already this year. So now they're starting to get the bottom feeders of the conference. So, but like I said, Padua's got a tough one in Ursuline. Wilmington Charter's got a tough one. They always seem to play a tough Division II schedule because they're in that Diamond State Conference, which is it's all Division II except for Charter, but that's not an easy conference.
Well, Pat mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. Talon Energy Stadium. When we come back, we'll talk about that game and Division II men's soccer on 302 Sports Weekly. Welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. Plenty to talk about here. Benny Pennell alongside Pat Darianis. It's time to talk about Division II soccer. Talking D2, there's a new number 1. St. Andrews continues their magical run, 8-0. Jason, what's been powering this St. Joe's team?
Yeah, St. Andrews is off to one of its fast starts. They're just scored some goals this year. Turnbull, the leading scorer, had a couple goals against Tower Hill and then a couple goals against Friends in their 2 wins last week. They're playing that tough independent conference, but it hasn't seemed to slow them down. They still got a rematch with Tower Hill coming up, but right now they're just the team to beat.
And you look at some of the scores. Newark defeats St. Mark's. Sorry, Ben. 3-0. Caravel defeats Hobson 4-1. St. Andrews over Friends, of course, 3-0. And then the game that we did last night, 1-0. Archmere wins against Wilmington Charter at Talon Energy. Is it Stadium? I think it was at Talon Energy Stadium. And Jason, of course, there's more of a backstory to that game. You know, of course, with the tragic loss of Anthony Pennell.
Yeah, it was, and they came out, and it seemed like as the game got on, they started finding their game a little bit. It was, a tough week for them, and they really came out and honored their fallen teammate yesterday with a great performance.
Yeah, so once again, if you want to go on Twitter, you want to add us, use the hashtag #PennaStrong. That's what they're using right now at Archmere, and for right now, we're just going to have a little moment of silence for him, just, to give them, the family, some respect. So.
Thoughts and prayers go out to the Penna family following their tragic loss. Moving on, St. Andrews jumping to the top spot. We talked about that. Some of the key matchups for this week. Number 1 team, Salesianum, takes on my St. Mark's Spartans. Jason, interesting game there. St. Mark's has a lot cut out for him there. We also have Tower Hill taking on DMA, and another Division 1, Division 2 matchup, St. Andrews versus Appoquinimink. What's the most intriguing matchup of the trio we have coming up this weekend?
I want to see the Appoquinimink matchup.
I agree.
I think that's going to be really good to find out where St. Andrews is in Division 1. They're the powerhouse right now. Appo's just trailing Salesianum in Division 1. Those two play on Saturday, so it's a key matchup. Some key matchups this week, but right now that's the key matchup I'm looking forward to this week.
As we move on to Division 1 men's soccer, William Penn saying bye-bye to the top 10. In comes Concord. Jason, what happened there, and talking about some other adjustments in the rankings?
Concord beat William Penn last week 2-1, so that gets them in there. They jump in there, but their reward was they had to play Appoquinimink yesterday, and they lost 7-0. So your reward for jumping into the top 10, you get Appo, and good luck. But I think that right now they're probably the third best team in that Floyd A conference. So I think they deserve the spot in there because they did beat William Penn head-to-head last week.
Some other scores from the week: Cape Henlopen defeats Sussex Tech 1-0. Gotta get my soccer terminology right. Smyrna defeats Polytech 3-0. Of course, the Archmere Wilmington Charter game, and then this other game that happened. Just one game that happened here. Number 1 team versus number 2 team in the country. St. Benedict's Prep taking on Sally's, defeating them 3-1, but the score's kind of misleading, Jason, am I correct?
Yeah, one of the St. Benedict's Prep goal was an own goal off of Sally's defender and in the net. They played them pretty even, though. If you look at all the statistics in that game, it was, St. Benedict's Prep had 3 more shots on goal, a few more corner kicks, but all the stats were pretty even. It was an evenly played match, and St. Benedict's Prep just happened to score a couple more times than Sally's did. But it was a great experience for the Sally's to go up there, play the number 1 team in the nation, and they gave a good effort. Now they come back and they get St. Mark's tomorrow night. That's always, I wouldn't say that it's always a rivalry game. It's never an easy game because of the build-up and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they get Appo on Saturday, the number 2 team, to defend rematch of last year's state championship game.
Well, as we move on to our key matchups for this weekend, Smyrna will take on Caesar Rodney. We also have Caesar Rodney playing Cape Henlopen on Tuesday. Wilmington Charter playing Caravel, and then another 1 versus 2 matchup. We have Salesianum versus Appoquinimink. Very interesting game there. That is all for men's soccer. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Come back. We're going to do that show live. We are going to do that live. When we come back, we'll have volleyball in the Schneid for you on 302 Sports Weekly.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
The Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com.
Welcome to Hooters. Have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create.
Welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. Pat, Benny. Really quickly before I get into volleyball, the flip up at the end of the previous segment was that we are going to be streaming that soccer game between Salesian and Appoquinimink. That'll be on Saturday at 1 p.m. You can catch that on our YouTube channel, 302 Sports Weekly. Now it's time to talk volleyball. Top 10, we have a new number 1, Tower Hill, continuing their undefeated season. But why do they rank above Padua?
Yeah, well, we just found out tonight that Padua is a better team because they swept Tower Hill tonight.
Wow.
3-0. So there will be a new number 1 team next week, too. So they played at 5 o'clock, 5:30 tonight. And Padua just stormed out behind Emily Jerome and never looked back, taking a thing.
And also here, Benny, we at 302 Sports want to congratulate Conrad sophomore Alyssa Favel on reaching 1,000 career digs and their 3-0 win over Brandywine on Monday night. This is an incredible accomplishment, obviously, and she's only a sophomore, Ben. She's only a sophomore here. Awesome job, and congratulations once again to Alyssa.
That is incredible because digs are not easy, especially when you have a girl like Emily Jerome slamming that ball right down on you. She does a good job of pancaking balls and getting everything. She doesn't let anything touch the floor when she's back there. So that's a really good accomplishment for her.
And that Conrad volleyball team was kind of a surprise team a couple years ago, so you never know. They might be sneaking around.
Yeah, they're floating right down there at number 9, and they're right there. I would not want to play them early.
I get the feeling down the road we'll be saying Alyssa's name many times on 302 Sports Weekly. All right, some of the scores from the previous week. Padua, of course, beating Ursuline and Tower Hill tonight. We also have Tower Hill beating Archmere over the weekend, Padua beating Tatnall, Wilmington Charter beating Conrad. A lot of sweeps here, and then St. Mark's beating DMA. Another move at the bottom of the top 10 was Caravel moving into the top 10 with Newark Charter being bumped out. What happened there?
And Newark Charter had a tough week. Of course, they played 2 top 10 teams that weren't able to get a win, so they fall out. Caravel, since a 1-2 start, have won 7 straight. Wow. And they're 8-2, so they get to jump back in there. They were in there to start the season, but really, it seems like it's the top 5. And then those teams 6 through 10 are all hanging around trying to see if they can pull off an upset of those top 5 teams. None have really happened yet so far yet. So,
and looking future games for the rest of the week, you're looking at number 9 Conrad visiting Tower Hill Friday 5:15. Wilmington Charter visiting number 5 St. Mark's 7:15 that day, and then St. Mark's traveling to Red Lion on Tuesday at 5:15. So that's next Tuesday, obviously.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday, Pat. What are you thinking? But good matchups there.
Yeah, and you said St. Mark's name twice.
Yeah.
They host the Wilmington Charter on Friday night. that's a Friday night primetime game. It's normally reserved for football. They're playing at 7:15 there at St. Mark's. I believe it's homecoming weekend or alumni weekend there at St. Mark's, so they'll have a good crowd. And then also they play Red Lion on Tuesday on the road, so not an easy 2 matches for St. Mark's. We'll find out if they're for real, if they can win those 2 matchups this week.
We'll see if the Spartans got it. I want to ask one more question about that Padua Tower Hill game. How impressive was it to see Padua sweep Tower Hill?
Yeah, and after they took the first 2 sets, they did the same thing last year. Padua won the first 2 sets, and Tower Hill came back to win in 5. So I was waiting to see if Padua learned from last year and put them away, because you don't want Tower Hill to get win that 3rd set and get some momentum.
Right.
Because that team who wins the 3rd set, they get the momentum going. They're tough to beat, and they can come back and get it. So that's a really good accomplishment for Padua to put get the 2-set-to-none lead and then win that 3rd set and end the match. But that an impressive performance from Padua today at Tower Hill.
Big road win for Padua. When we come back, some other big wins in football. It's on the way next to 302 Sports Weekly.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley: cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
Welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. Pat, it is time for your favorite part of the show.
Yeah, man, we're going to recap this spotlight game of the week.
Hodgson versus DMA. Run it.
Yep, we're going to run it right away. Here we go. Early and often. Starting it off first, Hodgson's running back. Darius Hale, sophomore, touchdown run there. 6-0 HVT goes on top. As you can see, defensive battle. We're already halfway through the second quarter. All right, so what are they going to do? They're going to go for 2. You're going to go for 2. Who are you going to give it to? Same guy. The guy's been getting you down there. Darius Hale plunges in for the 2-point conversion to give Hodgson the 8-0 lead here with about 5.5 minutes to go until halftime, as you can see. So what's going to happen? Tick, 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 tick. Halftime. We're there. 8-0 at halftime. Defensive battle. Both teams can't figure out who's going to take it over. So we move right on to the second half. We go actually right into the fourth quarter. 10-10 to play right here. We see Karan Elaine takes the direct snap right into the end zone. DMA could not move the ball at all, Ben. I mean, they struggled to move the ball all day. They get one chance to put a drive together. It's in the fourth quarter. Elaine puts them ahead. 8-8 tie. Now, difference-making play right here. CJ Henry with the double pass. Goes it to Simeon Smith, who then double passes it to Dan Douglas. Key first down here, Ben. Key first down here. Turns the momentum back in Hodgson's favor, and they start a drive. And when I tell you they start a drive, they lean on this man right here, Darius Hale. Fourth quarter of play, they took up 10 minutes of game time on this drive. As you can see, Hale, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. He gets the ball. And again. And again. They just kept feeding number 30. Again, 10 minutes of game film comes off of this one. Just plunges his way. They're now into the red zone. once the young man just never tapped out either, Ben. He just kept running, just kept going. Now he does get stuffed right here on the 3rd and 5 play by big number 67 for DMA, Hunter Ballback. Just swallows him up, brings down a 4th and 6. Now, Ben, what do you do after you run the ball up and down the field? Exactly right, play action. And that's what they do. C.J. Henry fantastically plays ball here to Vaughn Wood, who makes the impressive catch himself. Gives Hodson the late lead, 14-8, under a minute to go. Brad Myers on the sideline, all excited about it, as you can see him right there. All right, so 14-8. Very next kickoff, headsy play here by Andrew Hudson. Receives the squib, gets it back to Aline, and look at him. He could go. He might go all the way, Ben. Oh, no way! The big man. Unreal play by the kicker, Jose Avila Lopez. Game-saving tackle right there by the kicker. The big fella pushing Aline out of bounds. Only 59 seconds to play here, and then look, this is the last chance for DMA. It's 4th and 6, or 4th and long from the 30-yard line, and Amadeus Fitzgerald rolls to his right. All right, you can see him, looks, rolls, gets hit as he throws. That ball falls incomplete, and that's the game. Hodson eventually takes a knee, walks away with the 14-8 win, and a thrilling finish in this one, Benny. Hodson continues streaking. They've won 4 in a row now, improving the record to 4-1. DMA falls to 4-1 with their first defeat on the season. Fantastic game to call. Me and Nick Halliday did it. Great game. Can't wait.
I was going to say good job, gentlemen, as we look at Division II football rankings. No shame in losing to a D1 team. DMA stays pat at number 4. Woodbridge still at number 1. At 5-0, though, there is one other team that is undefeated, Jason. AI DuPont. Why no love for AI DuPont? They still sit stuck at 6.
Yeah, they really haven't played anybody yet, so we'll find out this week when they get Glasgow. This will be the week we'll find out if AI is for real. But hey, you can only play with who's on your schedule, so it's not, as long as you keep on winning, it's going to help you accumulate those playoff points. But we'll find out. They got to cut the back half of their schedule is real strong.
You look at some of the scores here. Caravel defeats Archmere 35-9, but again, much like that Salesianum soccer game, score is misleading there. Really close game, if I'm not mistaken, Jason.
It was
right?
14-9 at halftime, and it was a rough week for Archmere.
Yeah.
You know, they moved that game to Sunday because of the unfortunate accident the week before, and so it probably was a hard game for them to get up for. They played good for the first half, and I think that's when the emotions start. You start playing when you're playing on emotion.
Yeah.
A lot of times that starts running out, and I think that's where Caravel put it on them in the second half. But again, it was a lot closer than that score indicates.
A couple more scores. Glasgow, why'd you have to do it to them? They beat up on my Vikings 40-10 as they continue to roll. And then, like you said, AI DuPont 34-14 over Christiana continues the hot streak going. They're going to, see what they can do, see if they're for real.
Like we said, AI DuPont will play Glasgow, see what they got. We also will have St. Mark's hosting Howard, and we will have Archmere at DMA, and Milford will be at the number 1 team in Woodbridge. What kind of competition does Milford pose to Woodbridge?
Yeah, I think that's a real good game. Milford gave Woodbridge all they can handle last year.
Matches up well to them.
So that's a really, really good matchup. I believe that game is on 302 Sports with the Downstate crew. Benny Mitchell and company will have that game for you Friday night, and I think that's going to be a real good Milford. I believe, they go on the road.
They got some talent. They got some talent,
and I think they're a team that's going to give Woodbridge the most competition in the Henlopen South.
That'll be an interesting game to check out there. You can see it again on our YouTube page, 302 Sports. Right now it's time to go to D1. Not a lot of changes in the top 10, if any at all, really. Team from the eighth ranked team is going up to number 7. 7 switches with 8. But overall, Jason, not a lot of movement.
Now it seems like all the top teams are winning and holding serve, as we like to say. Everyone played well last week. There was a couple close games. Like we said, Hodson had a close win against a very good DMA team. Sally's was in a dogfight with Episcopal Academy. That was a really good game. I was there at Bader Stadium Saturday night. It was really, really, really close, and Sally's had to hold on for that one.
Yeah, and you look at a couple other scores. Of course, Sussex Central wins the The game for Sussex County, they beat Sussex Tech 14-6. Penn beats Concord 29-26, and what I heard was a thrilling finish, Jason. I don't know if you heard that.
Yes.
Came down to the last play. Congrats to Penn and Coach Dooley getting that win. And then how about this one?
Yeah.
Polytech continues the streak. They keep going. They defeat Cape Henlopen, who's a quality opponent now, 13-10. This program, it's got to be one of the better stories.
They're rising up. We had them nowhere near the top 10. In fact, I probably had them ranked almost dead last in Division One. All of a sudden, they keep on winning, and they blocked a game-tying field goal there at the end of that game. So they're doing it all. They're winning close games. And that's a sign of a good team is when you're in those close games, you have to win them. And that's what they're doing right now. They're scheduling it tough as they got some of the tougher teams coming up in the next couple of weeks. But right now they keep on winning, and you're going to ride that momentum.
Yeah.
It's a sign of intestinal and mental fortitude. Looking at some key matchups for this upcoming week, we have Sussex Central and Smyrna, nice 3-4 matchup there. We also have Cape and Caesar Rodney, like the 1-seed matchups here, 3-4, 8-9, and 5-6 with William Penn and Hodgson. William Penn trying to recover from that upset Concord gave them. And then, of course, the 302 Spotlight Game of the Week. The number 1 team will face the number 2 team. Middletown will be at Baynard Stadium to face Salesianum. The atmosphere to that game should be epic. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I do want to talk about William Penn. Where does that program go from here after losing the Concord?
Well, they actually won that one. They fought off the upset in a wild finish and were able to win 29-26. But you're right, it was a close game, a much closer game than William Penn probably expected. But what William Penn does, they get to host Hodgson at home. Now they want to send a message to the other teams in the state, hey, we belong in the top 5. And they're going to want to play Hodgson really strong at home because Hodgson's right behind them. And not to look ahead if you're William Penn, but the following week you're at Salesianum.
Yeah.
So you got a tough
trap game.
Exactly right. I was going to say, it could be a trap game in between Concord and Salesianum. It's Hodgson.
Game I'm intrigued with here, Jason, Sussex Central and Smyrna. Last year, Sussex Central gave Smyrna all they could handle. I mean, last year, Smyrna's offense was unreal. Sussex Central kind of held them under wraps. Is that going to be a part 2 here?
It could be. It was 14-0 late in that game.
Yeah.
Smyrna, who averaged 57 points a game, right? They had nothing with 6 minutes to go. All of a sudden, touchdown, onside kick, touchdown, onside kick, touchdown, and they win the game.
Unreal.
But I think Sussex Central knows that they can play with Smyrna. The thing is, they're going to have to try and keep them off the board because I don't know if they can match Smyrna if Smyrna gets up in that 30-point range.
Of course, we're going to be streaming that one as well, so tune in to that one on Friday night.
302 Sports on YouTube. When we come back, we'll be talking about Middletown and Salesianum. It's up next on 302 Sports Weekly.
Life's too short to hate your home. Remodel your home with the pros voted Delaware's #1 home improvement company. Ferris Home Improvements has something for every homeowner at their new showroom on the corner of Kirkwood Highway and Harmony Road in Newark, Delaware. Explore products and layouts with the area's top designers. Touch and feel products that inspire your dream space. Ferris Home Improvements' pride in the details make them the area's best in roofing, windows and doors, siding, decks, kitchens, and bathrooms. Want a professional, no-pressure remodel? Go see the best at the Big Shamrock on Kirkwood Highway. Ferris Home Improvements. Quality workmanship from a neighbor you can trust.
Welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. It is time to talk about our Spotlight Game of the Week. Live from Baynard this Friday night, Middletown and Salesianum. There's a history between these two teams, and it's one that's going to be very interesting come Friday night, Jason.
Yeah, Sally's leads the regular season 5-4. They've also met 4 times in the post. And these numbers since 2008.
Yeah.
So they've played a lot more than that, but these numbers since 2008. 5-4, 2-2 in the playoffs, and 1-1 in the state championship games. But here's the interesting thing. 2 years ago, Sally's beat Middletown twice, both at Baynard Stadium, once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. Last year, Middletown beat Sally's twice, both at Middletown. Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. Here they're meeting again at Salesianum this year. One of possibly 2 matchups this year because I think both will meet again in the playoffs.
Without a doubt, both powerhouse programs, and of course, fans, we just found out recently that we would be getting this stream here. This is going to be the first Salesianum football game in 2 years for 302 Sports. So
at home, yes.
It's going to be awesome to be a part of this. And you know, Jason, there's also, I know it's been a while now, but there's that little bit of Coach DiNardo, who's the former Middletown coach, so he gets to go against his old folks. But yeah, this is a game that has always been huge. I can remember being a kid going to Middletown, and it was Nicky Dominelli was the running back for Salesianum, and Middletown had this big boy, I can't remember his name, but just always a great game, something that it's going to be packed. It's going to be an awesome atmosphere.
Yeah, and it always comes down, even when they play in the state championship game, it always comes down to a play or two. And I think that's what this game comes down to. Who's going to make that big play or two, you know? They both are very talented. Both have great quarterbacks. You have Drew Fry of Middletown going up against Zach Wynn of Salesianum.
Yes.
Both can really throw the ball well, probably two of the better quarterbacks in the state of Delaware. So it'd be interesting to see who wins that battle. Sally's is throwing the ball more this year than they have in the past.
Yes.
Because they have a good ground game, that opens the play-action pass. Middletown has the better weapons and wide receiver, but don't underestimate Sean Reagan of Salesianum. He's a very good possession receiver. Middletown, you got Teddy Edelman and Nicholas Johnson. 2 great wide receivers. You got the running back, Kendrick Whitehead. So both teams have a lot of talent.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup, but I just want to comment really quick. We've been treated to 1-2 matchups a lot this regular season for Division I football. Very interesting this game because you can almost make the argument Middletown is a better team than they are from last year, and they won the state title last year. So I ask you, I mean, you said it was going to be, you said it has potential to be a close game. I might say otherwise. I might say Salesianum might want to watch a lot of film on Middletown because I think this one, Middletown might be able to really dominate.
Yeah, I mean, you're exact. It's a toss-up, man. It's a toss-up, and when we get to the Twitter poll, you're going to see that it's pretty much a toss-up. Middletown's a big-time offense, big-time, but Salesianum's always got that perennially dominant defense. Am I wrong about that, Jason? And then this year, like you said, the addition of the passing game, Salesianum is more unique this year than they ever have been. That's what makes this matchup so intriguing to me, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
Yeah, and just a couple years ago, Benny, just an example, Middletown crushed Salesianum in the state finals. The next year when they met, Salesianum crushed them in the regular season, looking for revenge. So Middletown Sally's lost twice last year to Middletown. Do they have revenge on their minds for this game?
The unstoppable force meets the immovable object. That is going to be our Spotlight Game of the Week. As for what the fans think on our Twitter account at 302 Sports, as we welcome in Nick Alessandrini to talk about the Twitter poll. Nick, what's the pacing going on with that?
Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, as you guys were just talking about, big time matchup this Friday between Middletown and Sally's, and over 130 votes pouring in just these last couple hours. And it's been back and forth, but it looks like now it's Middletown 57% and Salesian 43%.
Yeah, 57 to 43, Middletown on top. And I think that's a lot closer than our previous votes. If you look at it.
Not even a second ago, Nick walked over and said 58 to us. 57 as the show goes on.
And I think that's going to tighten up. I think it'll tighten up.
Yeah, I think, and both teams have strong alumni. And, it's going to be one of those where I think the Twitter polls will be as close to even as we ever had.
Fans, get your votes in on our Twitter account at 302 Sports. When we come back, it's time for the grand finale, Pat. We'll look at local sports and our top 5 plays of the week. We'll have Players of the Week for you as well coming up on 302 Sports Weekly.
Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. The Hadley Group is your local real estate
Have a seat wherever you like.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com. Ryan began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 homebuyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time homebuyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career as open for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique image you envision.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Solo Concepts. Solo Concepts is an award-winning restaurant group on the culinary coast with 10 locations. We're a chef-driven group. Come check us out. See you soon. Solo Concepts believes in the vision of our founder, Matt Haley. Cook beautiful, simple food, develop the people we work with, and make the world a better place. Solo Concepts on the culinary coast with 10 locations from Lois, Delaware to Fenwick Island. Come check us out.
Welcome back to 302 Sports Weekly. I am your host, Benny Pinella, alongside Pat Garianis. Pat, it is time for the grand finale, talking Delaware college sports as well as the college athletes. Take it away, my friend.
That's it, man. We're going to start off, as we always do, with the big club, the University of Delaware. We're going to go with the football team. They picked up a big-time signature win Saturday night as the Blue Hens rallied from a 13-point halftime deficit and down the FCS number 23 ranked Stony Brook 24-20 at Laval Stadium. Malcolm Brown picked up a fumble and raced 45 yards for a touchdown in the third quarter to pull the Hens within 3 points, and then fullback Kenai Kane of Sussex Tech 6-yard scoring burst just 2 minutes into the final stanza put UD in the lead as Delaware, now 3-2 and 1-1 in the CAA, picked up the pivotal Colonial Athletic Association win. The defense had 7 tackles for loss, a sack, and 4 pass breakups, with safety Nasir Adderley and linebacker Troy Reeder, formerly of Salesianum, leading the way with 12 tackles each. It was Reeder who stripped the ball from SBU running back Donald Leotine, phenomenal name by the way, and forced the fumble that Brown picked up and took to the end zone to spark the comeback. His brother Colby Reeder, also of Salesianum, collected 5 solo tackles, 3 assists for a total of 8, and Ray Jones of Hodson made 8 total tackles. Delaware's defensive line trio, Blaine Woodson and Bilal Nichols of Hodson, as well as John Nassib, sacked the SBU quarterback Joey Carbone, I think he was in Goodfellas, if I'm not mistaken, at the UD 18-yard line on the 4th down play. The final seconds to finish off for the gutsy Blue Hen victory. Reeder recorded a team-high 12 tackles, of course, 1 tackle for loss, and assisted Jalen Kindle to force a fumble that was returned 45 yards for a touchdown as Delaware knocked off Stony Brook 24-20. The junior co-captain led the Blue Hens defense that held Stony Brook scoreless in the second half, and in the third quarter forced the fumble to help UD rally from the 20-7 deficit. Reeder was also named to the Stats Incorporated National Defensive Player of the Week honorable mention squad for his efforts. UD hosts the Tribe of William and Mary Saturday at 3:30.
Joey Carbone was in
That's
Goodfellas.
I'm gonna go get the papers. Get the papers. That's it.
There you go, brother. Anyway, there you go. You left me hanging. All right, now it's time to talk Delaware State University football. North Carolina A&T showed us why they are one of the top teams in the football championship subdivision in the nation, rolling past Delaware State University 44-3 in a MEAC contest on homecoming Saturday at Aggie Stadium. DSU wide receiver Teron Selby from St. George's had a career high, 7 catches, 84 yards. The Hornets will host the Bison of Howard University for homecoming this Saturday. If you recall, Howard was a team that beat UNLV 43-40 in that big upset to open up the week on September 2nd. Since that game, though, the Bison were vulnerable, 1-3. So it looks like the Hornets may have a chance to break that streak they're on right now.
Incredible. I mean, it's wild that they go on that kind of a drought after such a win, but it's football, man, any given Saturday. Now we move on to Wesley, the Division III team. The number 19 Wesley College football team took on the number 11 ranked Frostburg State Bobcats. 27-24, they won this game in an overtime thriller on Saturday in NJAC action. Wesley got the opening possession of overtime, and Brun nailed a 35-yard field goal to give Wesley that 27-24 lead. Frostburg took possession in the first overtime and attempted their own field goal attempt, but Wesley comes through the middle, and they blocked it. They got a piece of Stephen Yorkman's kick, and that sealed the victory for the Wolverines. Freshman defensive end Stephon Woodruff of St. George's picked up the NJAC Defensive Rookie of the Week honors for the 3rd time this season and the 2nd consecutive week. Woodruff, who was secured at least a half a tackle for the loss in each of Wesley's 5 games this season, currently ranks tied for 5th in the NJAC in total tackles for loss with 9. Wesley has their homecoming game this Saturday versus Keene. Kane. See, it says pronounced Kane after I read it. Ron Burgundy moment, ladies and gentlemen. Kane University. So get out there and check that out if you can.
In a couple of weeks, they'll actually play my alma mater, Rowan University. Woodruff, easily the NJAC Rookie of the Year. Wesley Volleyball, the College of Wesley women's volleyball team, fell in 3 sets, 25-10, 25-16, and 25-18 to number 24 ranked Christopher Newport, the captains in the Capital Athletic Conference match on Saturday. Jessica Tynes, Tiana Graves Brown, Elisa Hackerdorn, Mary Getty each notched 4 kills. Tynes and Graves Brown also added 5 digs. Getty, Hackendorn, and Cody Zilakowski each blocked 2 attacks, with Tiana Rounds chipping in with 3 blocks as well. Lindsey Berg from Concord handed out 11 assists. Conrad, dug out 5 attacks and dropped in 2 serve aces. And of course, Tegan Vogelsang tallied 10 assists. I can read the tough names in the loss. The Wolverines will look to end their 2-match losing streak tonight versus Goucher.
There's some wild names in Division III sports.
The players, and once you get to the schools too, Goucher is not spelled how you would think it is.
It's really not. So now we move on to my alma mater, Wilmington University. We're going to talk about the volleyball team right here. They didn't waste the comeback effort, coming all the way back to defeat Bloomfield 3-2 to kickstart the 2017 Wilmington homecoming weekend at the WilMU Athletics Complex on Saturday morning. Sets went as followed: 17-25, 24-26, 26-14, 25-17, and 15-9 in the 5th set. Trailing 2-0, the Wildcats, who are now 9-12, 5-4 in CACC action, won their 3rd straight match by staying alive in that 3rd set before conquering the 4th and 5th sets. Jill Bronsberg collected her 6th triple-double of the season, doing so in back-to-back matches. She finished Saturday with 11 kills, 25 assists, and 11 digs, hitting .235 for the match. Manzi Pahils led the Wildcats with 13 kills, adding 15 digs for the double-double. Miranda Shaw dished out 20 assists while adding 17 digs for the double-double. Brittany Ford, formerly of Caravel, added 9 kills and 17 digs. The Wildcats of Wilmue will look to make it 4 straight tonight versus Holy Family.
You said Bronsberg, we have Hackendorn. We got some tough names out there.
That's it, yeah.
Great names. Speaking of names, time for our Delaware Collegiate athletes to see what some of the local kids are doing. Kings College football, a couple of St. Mark's kids, or St. Mark's kid that plays for him. Zach Whitehead completed 16 of 24 passes for 320 yards, 3 touchdowns. Tyler Marioni from Salesianum, he led the way with 10 catches for a career-high 234 receiving yards. Passing offense. Do the Monarchs have 3 scores for him as well? Tailback Titus Nelson, transfer from Conrad to William Penn. He ran for 118 yards, 12 carries, including an 87-yard score from scrimmage in the 4th, which broke a school record, by the way, for the longest run from scrimmage. More Kings College news. Senior wide receiver Tyler Marioni has been named Mid-Atlantic Conference Offensive Player of the Week after his performance in the Monarchs' 63-37 victory over Misericordia University. Kings College will face Delaware Valley this Saturday. Del Val versus Kings College.
It's incredible, Ben. Every time we talk about Kings College, Zach Whitehead has stats that are just unheard of.
Yeah.
I mean, that man's putting together quite the season. Congratulations to him. Keep it up. Let's move on to Shepherd University, Division II now. They're 5-0 in conference right now, and they walloped West Liberty 2-4, 51-14 in MEC football action at Ram Stadium on Saturday. Jabril Ali, of former Spartan St. Mark's, 18 carries, 110 yards, and 2 touchdowns, notching 3,000 rushing yards for his career. That's 3,029 to be exact. Patrick Griffin from Sussex Tech, 8 rushes for 80. You got back off, boss. I'm serious, yeah. 8 rushes, 87 yards, and a touchdown. DJ Cornish of Lake Forest, 8 catches, 89 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Rams face Fairmont State for a Thursday throng on the road. Ben, can't make it up. Can't make this up.
Rise over run, hit the slopes. All right, it's time to take a look at Newman University volleyball. Shane Sullivan from St. George's tallied 4 blocks, 19 kills. Kirsten Longoria from Delaware Military Academy notched 27 digs. That wasn't enough, though, as the Knights dropped 2 matches Saturday for Swarthmore and the Catholic University 3-0, 3-1. Newman will face Cabrini tonight as they try to stop a 3-match slide.
Yeah, now we move on to Delaware Valley College football. Preseason All-American Sean Miller from Laurel had 6 total tackles and 1 assisted tackle, along with a blocked field goal, as the Aggies crushed Albright 41-6. Delville welcomes King College in Whitehead for their homecoming this Saturday.
And finally, David Sills of West Virginia University, 7 catches for 116 yards, 2 touchdowns for the Wilmington product in West Virginia's loss to FBS 6th-ranked TCU 31-24. A solid showing for the Mountaineers. They'll host Texas Tech for their homecoming coming this Saturday. All right, no athletes in the news for the professional level. Wendell Smallwood, hopefully, he'll get back on the football field for the Eagles. I know you, one of the guys in the Pat and Benny Show Fantasy Football League has him on his fantasy football team. When we come back, though, from commercial break, we will have our Players of the Week and our Top 5 Plays of the Week on 302 Sports Weekly. Pat, we need to keep our heads on a swivel here. Gotta love it. 136, the Astro Shopping Center in Newark. It's time now, Pat, for our Players of the Week and our Plays of the Week as well. First, the Players of the Week. Gotta congratulate Ashlyn DeLuca from Tattle. The sophomore had an awesome week for the Hornets. 37 kills, 6 aces, 28 digs, a block, and 4 assists in 2 matches. And the other one, of course, is Graham Roberts, the senior from Concord. Had a very impressive game as they almost upset William Penn. Rushed for 3 touchdowns, yards of 47, 18, and 1. And his 47-yard touchdown gave Concord the lead late in the 4th quarter. But the Raiders, of course, couldn't pull off the upset. Game of the week, Salesiana versus Middletown, Friday night at 7:30. You'll be able to catch that on our YouTube page at 302 Sports. Pat, it's time for the top 5, buddy.
Here we go. Top 5 plays of the week. All right, let's look. Number 5, Simeon Smith to Dan Douglas, the halfback pass for the first down in this game of the week this past week. We saw it earlier. Here it is. You're going to see C.J. Ma gives it right over to Smith. Smith, left-handed throw. Are you kidding me? What a catch. Bobbling catch made there by Douglas. It was a game changer right there. Let that
trickery to start us off. I've seen this name many times. Who? What's his name? Oh, wait, no, not Will Knight. Sorry about the graphic. This is an impressive over-the-shoulder interception for Salesianum. Gotta love the concentration of those over-the-shoulder catches.
It's incredible. What a catch, and they're getting pumped up. Here's C.J. Henry to Vaughn Wood, the game winner in that Hodson game. They come out of this. It's fantastic. This was, of course, after a 10-minute drive by the Silver Eagles. It was nothing but runs. It was Darius Hale, Darius Hale, Darius Hale, Darius Hale. And then they throw the old play action. Good job by Coach Moffitt. And look at this throw.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And the catch in double coverage there by Wood. The game winner for Hodson right there as they move on 14-8, beating DMA.
Our number 2 top play, Nicholas Renaud. I love my catches, Pat. You should know this by now. DMA Hodson rolling out, throwing. Look at that juggling catch, the concentration. He only had 3 fingers on that. If you freeze frame it, go back and freeze frame it, he only had like 3 or 4 fingers on it, being able to concentrate and haul that ball in.
You know, it's like the center fielder, Willie Mays Hayes, making the easy catches look hard.
And finally, Zion Reed. And we said beast mode. We're going to call this Zion mode. Look at that, busting through the line, 2nd level, 3rd level, but this is the most impressive part, the stiff arm, the I'm going to get this
get off
down,
me.
whether you like it or not. Get off me, buddy. Touchdown, Zion Reed. Call it Zion mode, buddy. Those are our top 5 plays of the week. Again, our spotlight game of the week, Middletown versus Salesianum, live from Baynard, 7:30 this Friday night. You can, of course, watch it again on our YouTube channel at 302 Sports. We'll tweet it out as well at 302 Sports on Twitter. Pat, I had fun tonight, buddy.
I had a blast, man.
You never
Always
know who's
is.
going to show up on the set.
You never know.
Really do.
You make adjustments, you keep it going.
That's why I got to come out. 136, the Astro Shopping Center in Newark off Kirkwood Highway. Or for myself, Benny Pinella, Pat Arias, everyone involved on 302 Sports. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.